Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be taking part in the Tinkerer's Cube Draft event, which sprouted up, I think, yesterday or something like that, but I had some Historic Brawl videos to release, so, you know, I ended up doing that. But yeah, I do very much love the cube drafting that is on Arena. I would say that you could build just about anything you really wanted to in these cubes. I think they're pretty well built, so I'm going to be doing, I think, at least 2 videos on this cube draft, split probably once every 3 days or something like that, but depending on the reception of this particular video, will depend on if I come back and do some more videos on it, or we just do something else. I don't know. So if you do like cube content and you want to see more of it, it really helps out the channel a great deal if you leave a comment down below, like the button, and, you know, subscribe if you haven't yet done so anyway. But yes, let's get into it, shall we? This is 600 gems or 4,000 gold for a phantom draft, i.e. any cards I craft in this event will not be added to my collection. However, this is usually just a little bit of fun, so this was not one that I would advise you draft if you are looking to build a collection. You are very much not going to do that. If anything, this is mostly a gold sink, but it's a gold sink where you can have a fair bit of fun, so I'm not too against it anyway. So I think to go even, yes, to go even, you have to get 5 wins and 3 losses, which is the usual standard for any of the X wins, 3 losses kind of events. And yeah, you get 2 rares and 1 uncommon. Let's just call it 2 rares, or 40 gems, as it's also known. And yeah, let's just see if we can go and see what we can do. So 4,000 gold in, and see. Oh, it's actually player drafting. Okay, fair enough. I actually think, was it bot drafting last time? I honestly don't remember. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what we can come up with here. I'm pretty game to play just about anything, I would say, that this format has available. So let's just look in the old top left to see that big, powerful rare slot. I think it's only historic as well. I don't think they've got any of like the Moxes and things like that, which we've seen only once in an event, which really blows my mind, to be honest. And we'll drop out into this particular screen, I guess. So the mythic in this pack, Bioquart Space Godzilla, not really what I'd want to go into. You really kind of just want to do, you know, least amount of colors required. So I'm kind of thinking Golos. Golos can actually open up 5 colors, funnily enough, but it's also just a fine 5 mana card, I would say. Yeah, I think you've got to take Golos and try go for the 5 color pile. Usually you end up trying to hope for this one, so having it in our first pack is pretty sweet. At that point, we just basically take anything that is land-based or a powerhouse kind of card, so nothing really sticks out as a powerhouse kind of card for me here. Could take Curiosity, because I'm sure Niv Mizzet pay runes in this format, judging by the fact that it's here. I'm just going to take some fixing, to be honest, though. I'll shove that in the sideboard. I don't like to put lands in my deck for some reason, because I'm weird. And this one's got Rootbound Crag. Neutralize. Doom Necromancer's not too bad for a reanimation strategy. I'll just take the mana. I think good mana fixing is just going to be just fine. If there's nothing that really stands out, I don't really care too much. But we'll see if it comes back to bite us. I'm not sure. Opponents are definitely not going to be too happy that I'm just taking all the lands. Faith's Fetters is pretty solid. Just more mana, though, also kind of works. Hollowed Fountain allows Clifftop Retreat to come into play untapped. We could just see what comes back from this one. I don't think any lands would come back, though. Yeah, there's too many cards in here that I think would be bad if we wield them. But I think you've got to start taking things like Faith's Fetters. It's just nice Planeswalker removal, and anything else removal with 4 life gain attached to it is fairly solid. And what's next? They got Theros packs on them, but they're not Theros, quite clearly. We've got a core set style deck here at the moment. Come on, whoever this is. Show me whatever that pack is. I think we're just holding on to them at this point. There we go. Alright, Oath of Kaya, actually pretty solid removal. We'd need to find a black land for that, but that's not too difficult. Everything else, I could see Find Finality being pretty decent as well. I think we'll go with the Oath of Kaya, though. Keeps us at least in currently Orzhov colors. We could be like Orzhov splash every other color in the Magic universe. We'll have to see on that one. But yeah, we're basically 5-color good stuff, I think is what we're going down. So if we don't see anything amazingly good, we just take the land that's in it. I do kind of like Rada, Heart of Keld. That is pretty solid. Allows you to look at the top card of your library at any time, and you get to play lands from the top of your library, so that kind of helps. There's lots of lands in here as well, but I wouldn't imagine they'd actually table. I think something like Grim Initiate would come back, or even start to finish. So it's got Amonkhet Remastered in here as well then. That's kind of cute. I feel like it's just Rada though. We'll take Rada. 5-color hype. I wonder if Maelstrom Archangel's in here. It's got to be, right? That's the 5-color jumpstart card that when it deals combat damage to an opponent or a player, I don't know which one it's worded as, irrelevant anyway, it allows you to cast any spell that you want, so we could maybe just attack for 5 and then cast an Ulamog and get the cast trigger, which is pretty funny. Song of Freyalise, there's also Mortify in here as well. I think Mortify is what we want to go for. Yeah, it basically comes down to us building a Niv Mizzet deck is what this is. Niv Mizzet Reborn. Let's see. I think we're taking lands here. Could see Terrarion as well. That allows us to fix our mana somewhat. But I do like taking some lands here. And we'll go with the blue-black one, I would say. Yeah, stay blue-black. Explore for additional land drops. It's probably what we want here. This is the first pack we took. I don't mind Mindstone as well, just as a redraw. Momentous Fall could honestly be pretty good, but I think fixing our mana with an Explore sounds like a great idea. Probably just Forgotten Cave. That's the battlefield, put a counter on each creature you control with a counter on it. That's probably not going to happen. And then Vantress Gargoyle's very much a mill deck. So we'll take Forgotten Cave. Actually, I haven't got any music going. Let's get some music going, shall we? Oh, look at that sound of music. Isn't it great? Kind of think Drown in the Lock. Just as a one-of. Eventually it'll do something reasonable. It could get stranded in our hand a little bit, though, so if we're coming down to cutting cards, Drown in the Lock's probably number 1 on the list so far. Alright, we actually got all of our mana back, so we're going to take Hallowed Fountain here as the shot clan to allow most of our checks to come into play untapped. Brain Maggot's also not too bad. I don't mind Temple either. We got Sunscourge Champion against the aggro decks. I think I would probably run that. Ooh, fantastic. It's got to be Fabled Passage. Fabled Passage is just all 5 colors of mana here. I was really not expecting lands to come back, to be honest. Whenever you gain life, it gains flying. Probably not running that at all. 5 mana. Alright, new pack. And we got all the manas. Nothing terribly powerful in here. No Storm Heralds in here, though. There is an Enchantress kind of deck, I guess. But we're going for Temple Garden here, I think. Let's get that shock land. Armored Killer's not too bad. I like Stomping Ground as well. Not too big on Lockmere Serpent. It's okay. I think we probably just want Gem Razor, though. Or Stomping Ground. It's one or the other. It's hard to tell what color our opponents are picking as well. Mostly because, like, I'm just taking all the lands. We'll take Gem Razor. Should put it in the main, actually. Fauna Shaman, Witch's Vengeance. There's a Negate in here. Another kind of uninspired pack. I could maybe see Erebos, but not really. I don't know, actually. What are tribal lists like? Probably not that great. Probably do a decent humans deck, maybe, in this format. But I doubt it's, like, the big card. I'm going to take Negate, I think, and I'm not sure if I'm going to run it, but I will put it in the main for now. Ooh, Carnifex Demon, Command the Dreadhorde. There's Beanstalk Giant. Probably got to take Beanstalk, but we'll go through with these ones first. So this is a 6 mana 6/6 that enters the battlefield with 2 -1/1 counters on it. You remove a counter from it and put a -1/1 counter on each other creature. which is fine, but doesn't really help us all that much. So it's Beanstalk Giant, probably with Llanowar Visionary ideally coming back, I would say. Maybe even Commander Dreadhorde, to be honest, but gotta take the solid fixing. Oh man, this is a good pack for us. So we got Clothis, which is probably the one I want to take. It'll just hate on graveyards really nicely. Heartless Act, solid removal. Cultivate, really good fixing as well. I think I might go with Clothis, because it is both kind of ramp, and it also hates and, you know, gets us some little bit of late game potential. There's a good chance that either Heartless Act or Cultivate probably come back, I would say. So I'm going to take Clothis. We're trying to just take those big powerhouse kind of cards, so Multani might be the pick here. I dare say we've got a lot of legendaries as well, so Black Blade's not the worst. But I don't think it's a pick over something like Multani. It's not the most powerful card in the world, don't get me wrong, but Reach and Trample and a big boy can definitely do some good. I think in Dominaria Limited as well, this was like the possibly best card you could get out of the packs. Alright, what have we got here? Strategic Planning, Ugin's Conjurant, which is just if you're color screwed, this is a get out of jail free card. Strategic Planning, but we don't really have too much graveyard usage. So I think it's Conjurant. I also don't mind Stab Wound as well. This does a lot of work. We'll take the Conjurant, though. Ooh, Triumph. Yeah, just so much better than anything else that's in here. Would love to see some more Triumphs. Yeah, no one respects the lands in this format. We'll go with Isolated Chapel, I think, over the Temple of Mystery. I think the colours are just a little bit more varied. And yeah, nothing terribly powerful in here. Soul Stinger's okay, but I'll be happy for the Stomping Ground. Just really need that big, huge payoff card, so I'm hoping in Pack 3 we kind of get that. We do have a few kind of really good, powerful cards, but you want to just kind of hit an Ulamog off of Golos there, and that'd make you very happy, I would have thought. Let's see. When this escapes, sacrifice a non-Gorgon creature. Might just take Titanic Brawl, in all honesty. Commander Dreadhorde came back, so we'll give that one a shot. Again, that might be like Drown in the Lock or Negate. It's probably up there on probable cuts. Ooh, actually, Awakened Amalgam, power and toughness equal to the number of differently named lands. You could probably really make a huge Amalgam, judging by what we've picked so far. So just a base, like, very huge creature that's overstated for its mana cost might be okay. Macabre Waltz. Probably not going to use it, but it's better than anything else. We'll put Grumgully in the deck. Alright. There's Mecha Godzilla. There's Ketria Triome. Probably have to take the Triome. It just really helps us fix all of our checks, which we've pulled a lot of, honestly. So for now, we take that and we just basically get what we're given, which is hopefully Mecha Godzilla. I don't know, maybe something else after that. I could even see a Charming Prince being fine. Emil. Is Emil that good? What's our ETBs look like? We've got Sunscourge Champion. Could reset for a Grumgully, though, you know, it's what it is. Redo Golos. There's not too much there, but I also don't mind it just as a little bit of protection. What do you do, actually? Beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature and you return up to one. Ooh. Do we do that a lot? I don't know if we do that at all. It's kind of cute, though. We got that. We got Clothis, actually. Let's give Witch of the Moors a try. Let's give it a shot. I don't mind Wildwood Scourge. We do need to start looking for big boys. There is a Drakaseth as well, but the 3 red might be pushing it. Not sure on that one. Imagine we won't have to worry about Drakoseth wheeling. Let's see. Erebos' interventions, solid removal. We are looking for bombs, but after that, it's pretty much removal at this point. Our mana is fixed, so I'm probably going to stop picking, like, very powerful cards. We did pick the... Oh no, we didn't end up picking the Emil, but Dinrova Horror would have been very good for that. I do love Dinrova Horror. Oh, it might come back, though. I don't think Erebos' intervention's likely to be a returning piece. Carnival Carnage. It's a Blood Crypt. It's probably the pick here. Skycats. Thinking probably Conclave Tribunal. Yeah, I'll give Tribunal a shot. Just a nice Banishing Light. Could be good for us here. I'm not blown away by the deck. By any means. We had a nice start, but I think the ending of this particular list is worrying. Midnight Clock might be what we're looking for here. Just a redraw of 7. Dawn of Hope is honestly a solid finisher as well. And we did have Witch of the Moors, which cares about life gain. You know what? Dawn of Hope. Nice and early on, making loads of 1/1s. Pretty solid. We got the Clothis to gain life as well. We got the Oath of Kaya to gain life. Sun Scourge Champion to gain life. So, you know what? We could trigger Dawn of Hope actually reasonably consistently, I would say. The Ozolith. I don't know about the Ozolith. I guess it works. Conjurant, the Scourge. It's probably about it, though. Let's go with the Tomb. When in doubt, take the land. Alright, this is the pack that we've got back, so we've really not got anything too powerful, I think, to top end with. Unfortunately. No Planeswalkers, which blows my mind. We only saw, like, one Dovin, and he's not that good. I don't know, maybe a Sky Knight Vanguard? Not sure. Godzilla is just an 11/11 trample, and there's a battlefield with 2 counters on it. Whenever another creature dies, put a counter on it. Take Plaguecrafter as a removal, I suppose. We did get Drakoseth. We're going to have to shove that in the deck. We're running out of... that's not too bad either. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I guess so. It's the battlefield. Tap a creature, it doesn't untap. We got enough just solid removal. Might just take Secluded Step. Johnny's Primate to gain life. Sure. And Mask of Immolation, probably not running it. Alright, yeah, not too pleased with this deck in the end. It's a bit of a weird one. Not gonna lie. 5 cuts for the deck. So, on the list of things that are not that great, let's have a look-see. I don't mind a Johnny's Primate, in all honesty. I think it could be okay. Drowning the Lock was on the list. Just plus X plus O, where X is the greatest power among creature cards in your graveyard. If you get like a Beanstalk Giant, it's pretty huge. It's just in my graveyard, though. That's on the chopping block. I do really want to try out this card, so I'm not going to cut it. Command the Dreadhorde, probably, because I just don't see us having all that much life, although it could stabilize us pretty nicely. So it's on the lower end of the chopping block, but it's certainly there. Sky Knight Vanguard was just kind of a thing. Might need it just to like have some early game pressure, but we kind of have the late game pressure, I would say. Beanstalk Giant is more of a 3-drop, as far as I'm concerned. We just have a look at our colours. So blue is really low on this list. What is blue actually in here for? It's just for Drowning the Lock and Negate. So we could go 4-colour. That fixes our mana a little bit, I would say. Although I guess it depends on the type of lands that we end up having in here. So like we're going to have Fabled Passage. We're going to have the Indatha Triome. Might as well have the Ketria Triome. These, and these. So it's basically 2 lands we're not including. And we got our 4-colour mana base there. Does come with a light splash of blue. So we could almost justify the blue. But I don't know if Negate and Drowning the Lock are necessarily all that powerful. They're okay. But not necessarily for our deck. I think Drowning the Lock's very good for mill style decks. If you can actually get things like Ashiok and all of that nonsense, you could do some stuff with it. More like the 5-mana Ashiok, because the 3-mana one exiles the graveyard, so it doesn't matter all that much. But you know what? What I'm getting at is it's just nice to have those kind of payoffs, which we don't have. So 3 cards. Grumgully just being a 3-mana 3/3. Doesn't have too much synergy, except for with the Wildwood Scourge and I guess the Ugin's Conjurant. Is that just okay, though? Wrath of Kaya. I feel like we could do without it. So let's get rid of the Vanguard. Let's get rid of the Carrion Grub. There's too many things that I could just mill over and I would absolutely hate. Relying on RNG is not where I'm feeling like I want to be. And to be honest, might just be Titanic Brawl. What's the fighting looking like here when we've got Erebos' Intervention, Mortify, Oath of Kaya, Plaguecrafter, I guess, Tribunal, Face Fetters. It seems like we've got enough target removal that we don't really need to rely on fighting. And then that's what our deck ends up looking like, except for I need to change the mana base up a little bit, so we've got ourselves a Forest, because it's just cut 1. Even though it's 35% green. I guess it's taking into account all of my non-basics, but it's not taking into account the fact that I've got a Fabled Passage, so I've got to be careful with that. Just go to basics and slap one of those in, take one of the planes out. Just checking what our colours look like early game, because we're kind of like Abzan early with a red splash. So really we should just take out the mountain, add in a forest, and then we're Abzan basics with a red splash. For potential on Rada, Clothis, and Grumgully. I think that's the deck we're going to go with. I'm not blown away by it, but it could actually win us a fair few games. We're just going to have to give this one a shot. But yeah, if you do enjoy the content, you want to see more of it, make sure to support the show by hitting that like button and subscribing. And without further ado, let's continue onwards, shall we? This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alright, we're in, and we're on the play with an Explorer into an Awakened Amalgam. Hopefully we can find a red source for Rada, but until then we've got Ugin's Conjurant as well. And we're up against an absolute glorious name, Powered by Your Mum. Love it. Love it. Alright, yeah, we're not going to play Conjurant for a while. I think we're going to wait until this is quite large if we can. Blue-White, Legion's Landing. Could be a tokens list for sure. And, well, we got our mountains, so that means an early Rada by the looks of things, which I'm very happy for. Currently got a 4-mana 4/4 coming through. Good stuff. We'll go with Rada next turn to see what's on top. If it's a land, obviously we will want to play that first. Otherwise, it's probably just going to be land drop and see how we do. So it might just be like blue-white control. I might want to play around Censor. Since Armenket Remastered's in this format, that seems like a thing our opponent would do. So I'm going to play my planes, and I'm going to go for Rada. I know I wanted to play the land off the top, but I don't think it's worth playing into a Censor. Got an Essence Scatter instead. RIP. Okay. Well, I had to give it a shot at least. We are Bant. And there's Command the Dreadhorde. And they're just passing up. I think what they're going to be doing is countering every last thing that I play here. So again, we're just going to play around Censor, and we're going to get down a 4-4 Amalgam. I'm happy with this getting countered. It would be less than ideal, of course, but at least we have a little bit of pressure on the board now. And it makes most land drops actually not terrible. Blink of an eye with Kicker. Alrighty then. And we got a Blood Crypt. Okay, so let's just play Awakened Amalgam again, I suppose. And yeah, tap land. Pass the turn. Only a Rada in the graveyard so far for both of us. So Command's looking a little bit sorry for itself, but it's one of those you don't want till late game anyway. Ooh, and a Guard Mage. I would love to command that with my Dreadhorde. A Benthic Biomancer. Oh baby, there's Dawn of Hope. Alright, well, we're gonna get in. We're gonna go Dawn of Hope, which unfortunately we can't activate just yet, but we can go for an X3 Wildwood Scourge instead, which can get a little bit of pumping off of the Ugin's Conjurant later down the line. It allows us to block the 2-2 Biomancer if they adapt it, and they are going to go for a flipped Legion's Landing, no doubt here. But we should be able to keep up with it with our Dawn of Hope. Bit of a shame we don't have any life gain already locked into play here, but gotta do what we can do. Roll-esque. Oof. So counters on the Biomancer, which allows them to draw and discards. It unfortunately means that they can get a pretty good swing in here. They only really have to lose the Vampire token. They're going to choose not to do it, though, which blows my mind. Okay. So we do need to think about our attacks, because they don't really work out for us here. I guess we could go in with the Awakened Amalgam and then play a 3-3 Conjurant, because the 4-4 Roll-esque's not really going to work for us. Oh, the 4-5, sorry. And if we get some less than ideal block too, we can open up a Command the Dreadhorde. Yeah. And then we want to pay 4 on the Dawn of Hope, so let's pay 3 on the Conjurant. That makes a 4-4 Scourge and a Dawn of Hope activation, so we can gain life and start drawing cards, because we're going to need something good pretty soon. 1 red mana off of Drakaseth Maw of Flames if we ever come into that. So how much do they want to flip their Legion's Landing? Angelic Exaltation. Ooh. Encouraged to swing singularly. And proliferate the Biomancer to draw and discard. But it's got a pretty good deck. I'd be happy with the list they've managed to pull off here for sure. If they swing, we can actually do a pretty decent swing back. Okay, so that is basically a double block for us with the Wildwood Scourge and the Conjurant, or we can just single block with the Dawn of Hope token. I can't afford to take the damage, really. And these guys don't really care about getting Dread Hoarded, so I think I've just got to block a 1-1 and gain some life here. Can't pay for that, unfortunately. There's an Ajani's Pride, mate. So now I can swing and swing. I can't swing, actually. I can still swing there with our Awakened Amalgam here. Opponent takes 5. And we pass. Ooh, Baron. Okay. Can bounce one of my creatures or one of their own. If they bounce one of their own, they get to draw a card. Might not have been the worst idea for them to bounce their Biomancer, to be honest, because it takes the counters off and allows them to pay the 2 on the Adapt to draw and discard. Which I'm sure that has its applications. Yeah, what our deck is really sadly missing here is a board wipe for sure. It would do us so many favors just to have that kind of thing. Core Spirit Dancer, fair enough. This must be an aura of some sort to care about. And that is 10 points, and we are dead next turn. So, something good, please. That is an Overgrown Tomb. That's about as far from good as it gets. I've got a Golos in there, but that's not going to do me much good. So I'll be tapped out, so I won't be able to use it. 3/3 Pride Mate doesn't change anything, so I need to just swing in for 1 here. Swing in with my Amalgam, I guess. I'm going to die anyway. I need to just pay the 2 life on the token here, or the 2 mana, sorry, to draw a card, and I'm going to need all the mana I can get after that. It's going to block with their 0/2. We gave 1 gain of life. Get our own Golos, and we're dead. That is as simple as that one is. I guess we could see what we would have drawn. This will allow me to look on the top of my library before we die. It would have been a Faith's Fetters, and that would not have changed anything, because they could just attack him with the Elite Guard Mage instead to take the victory there. Yep, okay. A little bit of an underpowered start from us, and our opponent had all the synergy there, so not too much of a surprise that we lost. It's a bit of a shame, to be honest, but I think we lost that one on the drafting screen. So 0 and 1 to lead off. Let's try and give it another good old try for the next game. Okay, we're in, and solid mana actually, with the Dawn of Hope nice and early on. I'm going to keep this one. Pretty happy with it all around. We can cast absolutely everything in it. Our opponent is Applejack. Absolutely top tier indie game, by the way. Go play it. Yeah, we're just going to go with Temple Garden into the swamp for the Explorer and Blood Crypt, I think. And then we can do Rada, look at the top and see if we can get a land. Something like that seems like the plan, I would imagine. Don't need to play a Dawn of Hope just yet, because, you know, can't really use it until we've got 4 mana open. And we'll want to empty our hand, I think, before we start sinking our mana into that. So our opponent is Rakdos aggro by the looks of things. So Dawn of Hope is going to be a solid option for us. We'll go with the Rada to try and get our land drop, and we absolutely managed it. And a Fabled Passage as well. I'm inclined not to crack that, so that next turn, if there's no land underneath it at least, we can increase the odds of Rada grabbing the land. Phoenix of Ash. It's going to be a tough one, though, because I have to deal with all of this nonsense. You're actually trading off Rada. I feel like I'm okay with that. We're going to Faith's Fetters the Phoenix of Ash, most likely, anyway. I'm okay with this. So let's do Faith's Fetters, the Phoenix of Ash. Can't activate its abilities, can't attack or block, and we go up to 21 as well. At this point, I guess I'm going to crack the Fabled Passage, since the top of our deck holds no bearing on us, so we might as well just not draw lands. We'll go with probably the mountain for Drakaseth. Make sure that kind of occurs. It could have been the plains for Dawn of Hope for double activations, but we're a while away from that as well. Piper of the Swarm. This plague grafter is also looking exceptionally garbage. Don't know if you'd noticed. And we got our planes anyway. Alright, so I think we're going to go with the Dawn of Hope here. Stops all their 1/1s just off of the activation potential alone. And we're at 18 and ready to block them all down. We've got Mortify if anything nasty pops up. Earthshaker Kenra is not nasty. In fact, it's just a perfect Dawn of Hope target at this point. Sacrifice 3 rats, gain control of target creature. We've got to keep an eye on that as well. So let's see how they choose to attack here. They probably do, like, all attack. I don't know. Because Earthshaker Kenra can eternalize into a 4/4 for 6, which is fine, but we just get to gain some life, which is very solid. I'm going to hope that our opponent doesn't have Bedevils and Heartless Axe and things like that for Drakaseth. That would kind of suck. But if we manage to resolve this and it doesn't get removed, we can quite nicely clean sweep our opponent. Okay, so 3 mana left open. Piper of the Swarm could be the only thing that's holding them here. Ooh, that's really good. Yeah, Clothis with Mortify open. Very happy with that. So next turn, if they were just to eternalize the Earthshaker Kenra, which now they're incentivized to do so, because I can just Clothis it. I can Mortify it in response. The life gain is going to be so, so good. So, did they draw the land? They did not. Well, I still think we want to actually fire off a Mortify anyway and take a creature out so we just have more fuel for Clothis. We'll take out Piper of the Swarm. The 1/1 menacing rats are kind of an annoyance for sure. And the inevitability of them being able to maybe steal my Drakaseth using it is a bit of a problem. Just checking that isn't a graveyard exile. So they could do that into response to my my Clothis, which would be annoying. Is that actually what I do, though? Because I can exile a land, which is just my land, and then play Drakaseth. That's a tough one. I guess it all depends on what we draw, because we do get the chance to see. It's going to be Grumgully. Grumgully doesn't really change much, to be honest, so I think we take the chance on the Fabled Passage for Drakaseth. The problem is this one really relies on not dying. So we'll give it a shot. After that, we hope for a land, so we can go land, Grumgully, Dawn of Hope. And that should be decent enough blocks to keep swinging with Drakaseth until their board is clean. So they do have the Earthshaker Kenra here. I think I'm inclined to block it, even though it would open up my Drakaseth for burn spells. Power less than or equal to Earthshaker Kenra, yeah. So you can only stop 4/4s from being able to block, or less. Which works for me. It would tap them out and guarantee that the Kenra is just a natural, nice, lovely block for us. And they do kind of have to do it, otherwise I'll eat it with Clothis. So I'm really loving where we're at. They could start sacking with Dark Dweller Oracle as well, to try and get a better answer for Drakaseth, maybe if they have the Devils and whatnot. Bolas's Citadel. Wow. Alright, that's going to be pretty scary. Skizzik. Free block on Drakaseth. Judith, oh my god. It's no longer a free block for Drakaseth. And Fnatic and Mogus, we're dead. Wow! Bolus's Citadel, you're so good. We're dead. We are dead, pure and simple. If they'd just hit a land there, we could have tribunaled it. And without the Judith, we'd have been able to block the Skizzik as well. But everything else would have killed us anyway. And we're just dead to the Citadel activations. 0-2. Absolutely ruffle stomped in the end there. We just went from a reasonable life total to just nothing in no time at all. Yeah, so let's just go to the next game. 0-2. Alright, we're in. Decent mana. We can get down Dawn of Hope. We can play Sunscourge Champion if our opponent's playing any kind of aggro strategy. We've got Faith's Fetters for anything. Command the Dreadhorde makes this a 6-card hand until much later in the game. But we're going to keep this one. Our mana base looks pretty decent. Don't kill me. I want to live. Alright, let's play down Dawn of Hope. Anything that's not a land is a bad draw from this point forward. Yeah, it's a bad draw. X1s beware, though. That's not an X1. Well, land, please. Oh, thank Christ for that. So we can kill Drana. Drana probably needs to be killed with a Mortify. We'll do it now in case they've got God's Willing effects. I wouldn't imagine that they would, but can't really take that chance, I don't think. And then from there, if the pressure from their 4-drop isn't too much, then we'll drop down Clothis and see how we do. We got 4 points of drain ready to go. Oh, really? Oh, my. Land? Beautiful. That's very nice, actually. Thank you. Do I actually intervention it? It only puts counters on each attacking creature you control. Which it does include itself, for the record. Yeah, I guess I've kind of got to do it now. -3 on Drana. See if they did have that. Minus effect, or the protection effect, they did not. So it's like Orzhov aggro, I guess. Really like Drana, by the way. Do very much want to give it a shot at some point. No, it's Abzan. I guess it doesn't have to be Abzan. Depends on if you want to use the finality side, I guess. Alright, we got ourselves a Triome. So I think we're going to go with the Clothis here and get that going as soon as possible. Play down the Ketria Triome. Yeah, really good deck for them. For sure. Ours is just pure, unadulterated jank. But we're going to be able to keep up. Sunscourge Champion can block all of these zombies, and they don't get much bigger. They don't want to actually eat the Drana or Aerialist. We've got Erebos. Whoa. You know what I could do? I could eat their stuff with Clothis. That's what I could do. Yeah, don't mind if I do. Nom nom on Drana. I was thinking if I drew a land there, I would go for the Command the Dreadhorde, but this actually gives me the opportunity to draw some lovely cards and put some blocks in the way of our opponent's stuff. So, I'll take that opportunity. So Erebos does have a way of killing the champion. It can give -2, -1. They'd have to sacrifice 3 creatures to do it, which is not that great. And they can also pay 2 life to draw cards off of their zombies. So a Tribunal next turn is probably an option for us, because we can pay the 2 off of the Clothis Dawn of Hope trigger, and then we can also just convoke the Sunscourge Champion. They're eyeing up their graveyard. Ooh, Regal Bloodlord. What's this one doing again? If you gain life this turn, create a 1/1 black vampire bat. Alright, I'm just going to continue to eat all of their creatures. As good as it is for Command the Dreadhorde to have those options, it's probably so much better for them, because it seems as though... Because the reason they've been eyeing up their graveyard this much has to have something to do with the fact that they can actually use their graveyard better than me. I have to imagine that's the case. I'm going to go for the Tribunal on Erebos here. It's just too much card draw for their creatures dying, and I can't be having that. And we'll just pass, because we can't attack. So we've got 2 red sources. If we drew a red source off the top, we have Drakaseth ready to go, and it can actually wipe the board as it currently stands completely clean. Okay. Yeah, we would have had a land, maybe, would have got us the red we needed for Drakaseth there. So that's kind of shut down a few of our plans here. But we do have Rada, which I think we'll go for. If I play that untapped, I go for an Explore. Could allow me to play the next card off the top. It's not going to show me what it is, though, unfortunately, until I make that payment. Would I want to face Fetters here? Probably not. It's a Multani. We will draw the Multani, and we got ourselves a Plains for our additional land. And I'll swing in with my 2-3. Clifftop Retreat on top is a bad draw, but it's one we will accept. Yeah, Rada just gets very large if left untouched. I think we made the mistake of hovering our Rada, so now our opponent is wondering why I did that. Which is, it's not great. We don't really want to give the jig up on that one. So I think Rada's dead. They might hold it off until... Nope, never mind. Until I activated, perhaps, but chose to just go straight ahead, which is fine. Mostly fine, because we've got so many options available to us here. I'm going to swing with the Sunscourge Champion. Got a Spark Harvest out of them, which is pretty poor removal, I would say. So I want to say that they have nothing better. If we are concerned that they have removal, we go for Multani. Otherwise, we go Drakaseth for the attack trigger. Let's go Drakaseth. What's that graveyard looking like? We've shredded the crap out of it. That's what you love to see. Yeah, we can always command the Dreadhorde, Rada, and Drakaseth for, I think it's 10 points of life, which is... It's a lot to take, but when you've got a Drakaseth coming down, it's hard to be too upset. That is a Carnifex Demon, which we will absolutely destroy with Drakaseth. And Golos. Love it. Alright, so yeah, we're going all in. Drakaseth gets a 4, a 3, and a 3. Leaving our opponent with no good blocks. Yeah, they can just do the scrappy block and be dead next turn. And yeah, we could put them in board wipe or bust territory by playing their Demon and our Rada. But we can kind of achieve that same goal, I guess, with Multani. What about a Golos? Golos leaves me with the ability to Dawn of Hope, I suppose. We can actually activate Golos next turn as well. We'll go with the Indatha Triumph. And yeah, let's just pass with Dawn of Hope open. Board wipe allows us to rebuild really easy. So we don't have to worry about that. But it is their only out here for the most part. It's got to be... looks like it might be a Command the Dreadhorde, maybe? That would be kind of annoying. Although they can't really do much with it. They can only really do Rada because they're at 6. If it's anything else, it's probably just like a single targeted reanimation spell, so they can get Carnifex Demon, which can die to the 4. I guess it could activate twice and turn the champion into a 0-1. Yeah, they got the Commander Dreadhorde and they are dead. That was their only option. So, probably right to go ahead and eat the creatures early on and basically write off our own Commander Dreadhorde, because they would have had a Drana for a block and an Order of Midnight and a Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Probably it's one or the other, but it would leave them with 3. I guess even then, like, Drakaseth's still gonna power its way through. I wonder what that last card was. They certainly felt like they might have an out, but who knows? It's also showing me what's on top of my library, which I appreciate. Yeah. All right, we're finally 1 victory in. 1 and 2 for this one, so got to keep going. Got to be flawless from here on out, so let's see if we can do it for the next game. Alrighty then, let's have a look-see. We have no white mana for the Ajani's Pridemate, and otherwise this hand looks very expensive, again with the Commander Dreadhorde in our opening hand, so this is basically a 6. So, you know, it's a free mulligan. I think we're going to take it, to be honest. 3 mana, lots of early game answers here. A little bit of life game payoff with the Witch of the Moors, but I think that's probably the card we put to the bottom, honestly. As nice as it is, I think we've just got to go with the Triumph and Pass and just have nice removal to keep us going in this game. Let's try and play Abzan Control. Blue and Witching Well for our opponent to lead off with. And we got an Ugin's Conjurant. I don't think we play anything here. I think we just go for a tap land and say go. I don't really want to shock for a Dawn. I hope I'm not going to be able to activate for 9,000 turns. Although against blue-black it could just be a I win the game kind of card. Short of them having bounce spells. So we are going to play it right here. And if our opponent gives us nothing to do, then we just activate it, essentially. It looks like they're playing like a blue-black artifacts list. Which is certainly something I would love to have cube drafted. Yeah, it looks like they're just passing it over. This does not produce red, so no Clothis for us. But we have Mortify for anything flashy that we don't like. Or we have a Donna Hope activation to start drawing us some cards as well. Or even eating removal. Honestly, this making 1/1s that eat removal is also great. I love Donna Hope so much. It fell out of favor quite a long time ago. Especially when 3 Fairy poked his head out and started bouncing enchantments for free. But Donna Hope as an absolutely absurdly slow finisher is... Ooh, it's my bread and butter. Alright, so let's get in for 1. Trigger our Donna Hope. We're going to pay 1 here, and I don't think it really matters which one we pay. So we're going to go with that. And we did get the Blood Crypt. Could go for a Clothis here. It has no targets, but we have nothing better to do. So again, this is another one that could lose our opponent the game if they don't have the answer to this. So we're basically dodging counter magic at this point. Well, we did not dodge it. There's an Essence Scatter. Which is fine. Opponent with their treasure map ramping up. Swamp, and it's like a debate on whether to kill the 1/1. It's going to flip the treasure map for big mana ramp. Could see Big Tez. We did not see Big Tez. Alright, well, let's get in. And manage to slap our opponent a little bit. I think we just pass. We play Fabled Passage and thin the deck. We've already got the land that makes Clifftop Retreat untapped, so it doesn't really matter what we pick here. I don't think I'm in any rush to really push much further than that. We can just make another 1/1. So they're going to crack the Witching Well to draw some cards. Definitely has its advantages, both on the battlefield and getting activated there. My big worry is that we see 6 mana Tez. Patient Rebuilding. That's not a problem, as long as they don't have counter magic. which they probably do. And then it becomes a very, very large problem. As far as what lands we want to pick here, as long as it's not a forest, I don't think it really matters. We'll go with the mountain, I guess. Work towards our Drakaseth. Alright. Show me your counterspell. Ooh, we got it. There is hope for us yet. Patient Rebuilding. Honestly, one of my favorite cards to come out of M19. I think it was one of the first decks I made in M19 was Turbo Mill. Or Turbo Fog, should I say, with Patient Rebuilding as the win con. Back before Nexus of Fate was considered a problem, I was Nexus of Fating with Patient Rebuilding. Fun times, I know. Alright, so let's get in. And tap our basics. For another basic. So I could use the Faith Fetters on the Treasure Cove. It basically represents the prevention of 2 card draw, which is fine. Just not sure I need to. Probably also just gets counted anyway. I think if they do have 6 mana Tez, which I do kind of fear that they have that kind of thing, then, you know, I want to be using that Faith Fetters on it. Big Lily might also be a problem. Weight of Memory, mill me for 3. Land, Plaguecrafter, Pridemate. Honestly, you've done me a favor, I would say. And then Maya Triton. There's a Slime Bind. Alright, activate Dawn of Hope. Ooh, Rada. Yeah, let's play Rada. That is a lovely card, and you really want to see that. Okay, so I could Oath of Kaya the Maya Triton, or I could just swing for 2 and draw 2. I think I don't care about my tokens so much as I do the card draw that they can produce. And our opponent knows that I shouldn't have to care that much as well. And yeah, we're just going to draw that. I haven't made my land drop this turn, but I guess I'm going to pay for this one anyway, and just in case there's one on top. Oh, I have made my land drop, never mind. Okay, fair enough. So I'm at 18 cards. I do have to be a bit careful with how many cards I do draw, but, you know, having a nice hand is very nice. But I am helping our opponent every time that we draw cards here. Shipwreck Dowser returns an instance. They've got Essence Scatter, okay. I thought I'd seen Command the Dreadhorde from them for some reason. Alright, so they want to counter my Rada. I want to let them, I'm pretty sure. So let's just let them. Help yourself. Yep, there it is. Easy stuff. I do not care. Play our Triumph. And what about an X4 Wildwood Scourge? Does that sound palatable? That doesn't sound palatable. Oop, there we go. We'll get you down there. We'll pass the turn. Shipwreck Dowser would be really nice to achieve with our Command the Dreadhorde, which we can try to kill with an Oath of Kaya. If it resolves, it goes into the graveyard, and then we Dreadhorde with their Dowser, perhaps, to get back an instant of our choice. Mirari's Conjecture. Oh boy. Instant for Essence Scatter, and that's not going to do you much good. Alright, so let's give it a shot, shall we? Oath of Kaya. See what our opponent says about this. We have a negate. Fine by me. So we command the Dreadhorde. We go for Clothis, Rada, and Plaguecrafter. It's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. And we'll Plaguecrafter our Wildwood Scourge, since I don't think we're going to be able to bring this out of the tapped issue it finds itself in. And yeah, let's swing in to pump the Ajani's Pridemate. Couple of triggers. Opponent's going to get a sorcery back. I probably should have checked what sorcery they get. Destroy creature. Silent Departure. Weight of Memory. They're not terribly bad. Okay. So I'm going to take the Destroy Creature option. You're an elf, aren't you? You are. Ooh, we could give you Trample with our Gem Razor next turn. And then activate you for a lot. Tap out of all of your blue and black, please, opponent. Just tap out of all of it. Do it for me. Wouldn't have to care about Foul Mine Knight, because Rada has first strike on my turn. I think she might be dead, to be honest. I think it's very possible, in fact, they're holding it open, but it's sorcery speed, so... They do have Essence Scatter, or Essence Capture, Essence Scatter, that's the one. Alright, let's eat your Silent Departure. Get some triggers. 15 cards. I guess I want to draw. So I think we're just sending it. We do have to do this kind of thing. So that would be 1, 2, 3. I could do a 3, 6, 6 Conjurant to bait out the Essence Scatter. Yeah, and that leaves me with Gem Razor to take out Mirari's Conjecture for the double mana. They let that go. That's worrying. That's very worrying. Okay. -1 to the Foul Mine Knight, so we can get the Pridemate through. They've basically got double Conjecture removal with the Lich's Caress is the issue. So my two best creatures are going to be dead, so we're just going to swing through. See what we can do. They're going to block the Pridemate. Go to 6. And see what they can do. All of their spells are doubled this turn. So, Caress on Pridemate and Conjurant. Yep. Rada's larger than both of them. But they did just gain 6 life as well. And they got Drown in the Lock to kill Plaguecrafter and Rada as well. Wowie. Wowie. And then Essence Scatter is still being held open for the Beanstalk Giant we're going to draw. That's rough, man. That is rough. Ooh. Never mind. I'm going to go for the draw 4 instead. How many cards they got left? 6? They've got to have a Thassa's Oracle, I have to imagine. Oh, they have 2 mana as well. Okay, so let's just eat. At this point, what could really matter? I guess it's instants and sorceries that really matter here, so Weight of Memory is pretty good. The Lich's Caress. Probably don't want them doing that ever again. I will pay. Grum Gully. Let's see. So this is 3. That leaves me with 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just Grumgully into turning this into a 4/4 lifelinker. They're going to Essence Scatter that, I would imagine, because it's just Devotion for Clothis. Yep. Over, please. Kill their Mind Stone. Don't even know if we've got basics left. We got a Plains and a Forest. Guess we might as well. 11 cards left. Take them to 6. So, Gemrazor or Angir's Armored Killer does technically present lethal here, but Dinrova Horror is pretty good. Let's get rid of Face Fetters at this stage. Just don't drop Lily. I guess Lily's not the worst, though, as long as they don't have Thassa's Oracle. They've got to mill my 11 cards pretty damn soon. Let's get rid of, at this point... Drowning Lock seems fine. I don't know if I should draw. Beginning of your end step, if you gain life, each opponent attacks a creature. Which of the Moors would be a very good draw? We don't know where it is, because I think I've Fabled Passaged in my time. This one time. Oh, it's Golos. It's Golos. Let's give it a shot. I don't think I thin my deck, though. I don't think I give my opponent the chance to increase the odds of them doing anything like that. I would rather just play out my cards here. Four cards. They could win right here now. And that would suck. Stab Wound Golos. And Foreboding Fruit, me draw. Them get a food. That seems like a go for the win kind of play. Yeah, let's go after Weight of Memory. Take them to 2. Gonna gain the life to survive. I don't think they've got Thassa's Oracle in their deck. And I'm sure as hell not activating there. Let's go for Drakaseth, I guess, after we swing with the Armored Killer. Guess I should have gone with the Golos as well. Don't know why I didn't, to be honest. Let's go Beanstalk Giant plus the Sunscorch Champion. Didn't say please. Oh no. 3 cards to their 4. Absolutely not drawing. Okay, pass. We're presenting lethal again. Clothis is the 2 points that we're missing. This is an absurdly close game and I don't like it. I feel like some of my misplays has led to this being as close as it is. Vantress Scry. 3 cards left. They're going to see a good chunk of their deck and they're going top bottom. And they scooped it up. Oh my god. Whew. That was a close one. Oh, I do like when games get that tense, even if I have punted my way to them. It just kind of makes them better, for me personally. But I can pretty much guarantee I made a mistake that led me to that point, but 2 and 2. Not too bad. So this event's currently costed 3,000 if we get another win. And it's cost us 2,000 gold, and at that point, I think 2,000 gold for an event like this, well worth the money. So let's see what we can do. I really would like to win at least one more game, if not two. But, you know, I don't think our deck's good enough. We're just going to have to see. Okay, we're in. We have a hand. It's definitely a hand. I think we're keeping it. I think Conjurant on 2 into Armored Killer 6/6 on 3 is looking pretty decent. So that does require us to go with the Clifftop Retreat first and pass the turn, since we don't have the colours to make the retreat untapped. Our opponent's just going to pass. Say hello to our opponent. Alright, so have to go with the Forest. We'll go with the 2/2 Conjurant here. Yeah, 2/2 Conjurant. It's actually pretty good against red decks if we're playing against mono red. Those two counters are going to really help us out. It's blue-red. I'd hate to get Essence scattered, I really would. So perhaps it's actually just a swing for 2, play a Johnny's Pride Mate and a tap land. We don't have to get too aggressive with this, I don't think, early on. Play Pride Mate. I want this to get Essence scattered if they have it. Okay. It might just be open to burn, this one. Yeah, that one's getting shocked, which is fine. Gonna need some low to the ground cards here. Go to snipe. Alright, now's our opportunity. Oh, Cloth, this is so good as well. Alright. Armored Killer. Over. Make a 6/6 and swing. So this now says whenever this creature mutates, destroy an artifact or enchantment, but it also, whenever Gemraiser is dealt damage, while it has a counter on it, you prevent that damage and then remove that many 1/1 counters. Oh my god, a Go to Snipe with Curiosity. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's so good. They have tapped out a blue, though. So they are open to getting removed. And removed is what we shall do. Let's get in for 6. I think we'll just go for a simple intervention on the Go to Snipe here. We might want the Tribunal down the line for just anything that gets in the way. Our opponent's going to have to put something in the way if they're going to stand a chance of winning this one. I guess I should have gone X3. I'm going to go Fire Prophecy. Yeah. I've done this recently where I've taken an X spell and I've just done it for as much as I need to, when in actual fact I've got nothing better to do than than to just spend the mana. I'm weird. What can I say? Alright, so they got rid of our counters on the Armored Killer here. I don't think we've got a way of actually putting them back on, unfortunately. But it does put them to 2 anyway, and they are still in a position where they have to do something about this Armored Killer. I'm hoping that means that they drop down the double blue, which means Clothis can resolve, and there's no way they gain enough life for that. Alright. So. This is where we want to see our opponent. We want to see them going to 2. They do have blue mana open. Could take it away. Might not have to. I think we make them tap out next turn to answer the Gemraiser. Bounce may only make things worse, to be honest. Well, I guess it can't get much worse. But it means that we can reset the other sides, the Hugins Conjurant. And then we can also activate the Mutate on the Gemraiser as well to get rid of the Midnight Clock. But if they're forced to do it, then they're forced to do it. Awakened Amalgam, okay. So, answer this or die. Electro Dominance X4 kills the Armored Killer Gem Razor and goes with an Experimental Overload. We play Clothis, which means they have to gain life, deal with the Clothis, or die. Another must answer threat in play. So, can you gain 1 life or deal with an indestructible enchantment? Brazen Borrowers and bounce effects like that will certainly help. I think it's the first time I've seen this this weird token. It's pretty cool, to be honest. It's giving me some Terminator vibes, and I like it. Alright. Oh, they actually Electro-Dominance into the Overlord to get back Dominance. That's pretty cute. But we managed to do it. Alright, we've started on a pretty horrendous losing streak, but we're coming back to where I feel comfortable as a win-loss ratio. I think we are now 3-2, yeah, so we're positive on our win rate. If I lost at this point, I would be okay with it. Paid 2,000 gold, essentially, for the pleasure of cubing. But if we could get that one more win, 1,000 gold for the pleasure of cubing is certainly just fine for me. And we even get the one rare, which, you know, is the only thing I really want from packs anyway. So, you know what? Let's see if we can do it. I don't know. I'm trying not to be pessimistic. We'll see what we can do, though. Usually when I'm a bit too optimistic, we end up losing, so we're going to lose. We're definitely going to lose. Let's see. Okay, let's have a look-see. We have a very nice Orzhov hand and mana to use it all, so we're going to keep this one. I'm not sure how we want to play this one out. Ooh, the Blood Crypt as well. I was thinking more along the lines of it's a kind of a difficult hand considering Fable Passage and 3 mana, but now we got the Blood Crypt. That actually means that we've got a perfectly fine turn 4 land. And the shock on the Blood Crypt's dependent on if we need to mortify our Oath of Kaya. Other than that, we don't really care. I'm going to go for Pride Mate on 2, so the Oath of Kaya gives the life gain trigger. And it should do a decent amount. That does help a little bit with Rootbound Craig. It's an untapped land. Yeah, let's just go for it. So we got all the mana. We'd like to stop seeing all the mana and start seeing all the good cards now. The good, affordable cards. I need to be very specific with the Shuffler, because it's always listening. Alright, take 2 damage. Totally fine. We might not need to kill the Karvu if a 3-drop comes up here that dies to Oath of Kaya instead. Ugh. That's less than ideal. Well, I shall probably just Oath the Karvu and cry. And my inadequacies. Get ourselves a 3-3 Pride Mate. Could be worse, I suppose. And then oh, no. Kitty down. Bad kitty. Blood Crypt tapped, Mortify, maybe? Looks like Pride Mate's dead. I'd love for them to just, like, kill the Oath of Kaya and think that it matters. We have no Planeswalkers to defend, so it's done its job now. You just never know, right? Some people are just too excitable. Certainly considered it, you could tell. Alright, I'm going to go with a Fable Passage, and we're going to go with a 3-3 Wildwood Scourge, I think. What's the mana you want here? Got Abzan colors, that's red. No, sorry, that's green, white, black. We are missing our blue, but Golos can get the blue for the activations if that comes up. So I think it's just Mountain. Getting the 3 red for Drakaseth seems very important for this deck. And we'll go with a 3-3 Scourge, which can be a 4-4 Scourge to attack with the Ugin's Conjurant next turn, if that's where we want to go. Why can we get Stone Coil Serpent? It's so much better than Conjurant. It has its applications, I guess. But I wouldn't say they're nearly good enough. Alright, so take 3. I'd like to start attacking our opponent back at some point. Should be able to get there soon enough. I also want to kill Brontodon to stop them from killing Golos as well, because being able to activate there is kind of nice. Alright, face fetters on Brontodon's not the worst. But would I want to do it on Treasure Map to stop their card advantage? I probably would. So let's go with the Mortify on Brontodon. They'll probably just sack and kill Oath of Kai, which doesn't matter. But it's definitely in their best interest to do so. Wow. Never mind. I'll take 2 in order to make a 2/2 Conjurant, which pumps up the Scourge to a 4/4, and it's just a better swing for us, and allows us to have a block for the Dragon Master Outcast as well. So now Brontodon's out the way, Golos is free to play, and we're going to go get the Ketria Trion with that. And then just drawing any land allows us to then do the activation of the top 3 cards of our library and playing them for free, which... oh boy, do I hope we see Drakoseth and Multani in those piles. Or even Witch of the Moors as well, actually. That's a cute card, for sure. I probably want to hit this treasure map, though. To be honest. To the bottom, they say. Because it's a draw 3 if I don't. And they are on 1 card. I have the advantage. I would like to keep it that way. Banefire X4 on the Scourge. Yeah, so now they're empty-handed. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, we're going to be not in the driver's seat by the end of next turn. Swing for 2. They're going to start making 5/5s every turn. Best we can do is use that face fetters to stop them from having more advantage. Ah, Multani. It's actually really good. Do we take the damage first? Probably not. I want to say probably not. Let's get down our 6/6. Oh, 7/7, sorry. Cards and lands in graveyard as well also count. Can at least block some dragons. Fanatic of Mogus, take 2. I have Reach. Nobody really ever learns that lesson. Oops, yeah. Alright, so we're going to go for Golos. Unfortunately, it's a tap land, so we can't play the Dawn of Hope straight off, but that's fine. We're going to pass, use our Multani to block, because we really do need the life total buff. And here we go. Let's activate Golos every turn until we win, maybe. Rada, Awakened Amalgam, and Intervention. Alright, so a slight whiff, unfortunately. Play the land, play the Amalgam, which is an 8/8. And we have nothing to do with this one because we can only pay 0 for it. I guess we'll showcase that right here. There you go, submit 0. Alright, so if I swing for 9, they probably double block. If they don't double block, we take 10 in the air. It's also pretty bad. So we're going to pass. Hope for the best. Voracious Typhon. Got a land on top. Another land. So I think, can we... 3, 6, 7. We can explore here. Just want to make sure that I've got all the mana to do this. I think we can explore like this. Oh, beautiful. Play the land and then still activate Golos, and we've got a free Drakoseth off of that. And a Command the Dreadhorde. For a Brontodon, a Karvu, and a Pridemate. Let's see, so Drakoseth, Tribunal, take care of the Outcast. And then Command the Dreadhorde. I've got to be very careful with this, because I could just die if I'm not very careful. Ajani's Pridemate is 2. Scourge is pointless. We can get there. Brontodon, which doesn't do anything other than be... yeah, it's just not really that great, to be honest. Let's get swinging with you. See if they want to block. They know about the Dreadhorde, so basically whatever they block with, they're going to give me an option to use. I don't think we use it, to be honest. because we've got Drakaseth to block, we've got Multani to block. We're only taking 5, and we're pressuring with several beasts here. Going on a lower life total could open our opponent up to 15ing us if they have an ability to deal with our board in some way. I don't know what it could be, but I don't really want to try my luck on that one, I don't think. Don't really have the opportunity. And I think this actually comes back in as... It comes back in as a 7-7. That's pretty good. But we have a 10-10, a 7-7 dealing a lot of damage, and an 11-11. And we also have Golos as well. Oh, we also have Rada as well. So, what does the swing look like for us here? We've got Rada, Multani, Drakaseth, Awakened Amalgam. We do quite a lot of damage, to be honest. But we don't gain enough life to afford to all attack unless we can kill our opponent or force them to block with some stuff here. So I'm going to play the land. I'm going to... 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Can't do Golos plus Rada. So we swing and put them to 10. Hit this, so that's not a blocker. That means that they've got 4 blockers. This is 12, so must be blocked. This is a lot, so must be blocked. I think we might have it. Oh, God, I hate doing math. It's not my job. So 4, 3, and 3, I guess. See what our opponent wants to do. If they don't block Rada, that's definitely going to be a kill. Okay, so we're getting a triple block with all their dragons, which means we're perfectly comfortable taking the win here. I think they were on 2, weren't they? It didn't really matter, though. Exacxes. Yeah, we could have, I think, not activated the Rada there because it was on 2 damage, so the first strike would have been enough, but it's all about sending a message, and there's nothing like Exacxes when you haven't done the math to really send that message across to your opponent. So, pretty solid stuff, and we're now on a lovely little winning streak that I did not think we'd be on. I thought we were really going to horribly scrub out on this one. But no, we are now 4-2. If we get one more win, which I don't think we will, if we get one more win, this cube was free. So, you know what, that's honestly best anyone can really hope for. Anything else is just a pure plus. So let's do it. Okay then, let's have a look. See, we have a fine hand. I want to say this is fine. We got the mana for Beanstalk Giant to fix up later down the line. We basically just need 1 land, and we got lots of 2 drops and 3 drops, 4 drops. I mean, the curve's nice enough, so we're going to give it a shot. I guess you want to find better removal. All depends on how wide our opponent wants to go, because Playcrafter can be just pure and honest top tier removal if you're pretty happy with it. I don't think we can afford to just shock and shock again, which is what would be required to go for turn 1 Conjurant into turn 2 Primate. I don't think it's really worthwhile doing that anyway. Got to get some pressure down though, so we'll go for a Primate here and pass the turn. Two mana for our opponent. And Vicious Offering, fair enough. Well, it's pretty good off of the Conjurant, the Gem Razor. We'll attack as a 6/6 next turn if we find a land that's untapped and ready to do its thing. Blood Artist. It's not an untapped land. What color does that want to go get? I think it wants to go get a mountain. I think it always wants to go get a mountain. I've been noticing that with this deck is every single land is mostly Abzan except for the splashes, which require you to go get the red source. Fine by me though. So there's a mountain, there's a Blood Crypt. Let me just go for the Gem Razor. I'm not sure what mono black could have that would make me want to hold off on this. Then again, Swing Plague Crafter might not be the worst either. Yeah, maybe. Blood Artist is probably a very big build around for them, so dealing with it is nice. Would give them the trigger, and we don't really want to give them the trigger necessarily. What about just a Beanstalk Giant? Fertile Footsteps. And just wait on it. Yeah, if we drew a land drop, then we could do Gem Razor plus Plague Crafter. Let's grab a unique basic, and the unique basic is going to be this Plains. To hopefully get additional Dawn of Hope activations. Which is going to be a difficult thing for our opponent to deal with outside of Farrakha's Libation. Which I think up until the newest set comes out is going to be the only way that they can deal with enchantments, which is nice. We did get the land, so we can do the Plague Crafter Gem Razor plan if we want. I feel like they've just got solid answers open right now. Maybe we just hard cast the Gem Razor. Now, let's just let's apply it here. If they kill it in response, we get the 4/4. If they kill it afterwards, we're going to be a bit sad. Let's see how they want to do it. Got a 6/6. It has to be dead, right? There's no way it lives. What is our opponent's deck if this lives? The deck's weird. I don't understand it. Go to 10. Are they mana screwed? Color screwed? Just out of Plague Crafter? Fair enough. Lose 2. That's a pretty weak turn 4. Makes me very happy. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Plague Crafter them back. Let's get rid of the Blood Artist. And then we'll play the Triome, because we do kind of need the mana, actually. We can play Beanstalk Giant off of it. So we do take the 2. And then tap Triome. It's a shame it isn't the blue one, but the blue one only really matters when we've got Golos, and we can tutor it with Golos, so we don't care too much. It is actually a Rakdos list. But they did have a Falconwrath Noble. Which is another Aristocat. I'm thinking I might go for a Beanstalk Giant 7/7. That's what I'm thinking. I think I'll give it a shot. Can answer their stuff on the attack. They may end up being removal light. It appears that they are removal light. Goblin Instigator. And Fnatic take 3, down to 9. That is a Grum Gully. I would like to go for an Explore first. Into a very solid Oath of Kyre. I'd love to see that. I think we'll take care of the Falconwrath Noble. So we gain 3, but then we lose 1 here. And we wonder whether or not swinging for 7 is worthwhile. 4, 5, 6, 7 back to us as well. They could actually win next turn if I'm not careful. So I think I have to pass. So flooding out for our opponent most likely. I can hardly see them being big Rakdos. But they have the Castle Lochthwain to do some serious card advantage if they really want it. It's going to swing in. Could be a Banefire. Could be a Torment of Hailfire. Could just be trying to trigger the Spectacle. Maybe for a Skewer the Critics to kill Beanstalk Giant. Who knows? Suppose we'll find out when they resolve this trigger. There we go. We're at 8. 2 cards left. I would honestly be not that against them going for a Skewer the Critics on Beanstalk Giant. It would be unfortunate for sure. But I really need my life total to be higher than it is right now. Electro Dominance X5 into Flame Spill. Takes us to 2. Oh boy. Was that close. How's about we go Grumgully into being not dead. And let's get rid of the... To be honest, Castle Lochthwain to stop them drawing might be an option. We're gaining 4 life, so we're going up to 6, a virtual 4. Yeah, I think we attack the Lochthwain and put them on top decks. Rather than stop them attacking him with their creatures, which aren't profitable attacks necessarily. Oh, come on. Why'd it have to be a Judith for all things? Why? No, it's so rude. We're dead now. We've lost to Judith twice. And I hate it. It's like we can tribunal the Judith, but it's not gonna make a difference because we're still dead on board. And I don't think we've got a 4-drop that can really block this board. Witch of the Moors. Just won't do it. I hate Judith. She is the worst. So we get rid of Judith. Assuming we had a land, there is still 2 damage going around. I mean, maybe we shouldn't have gone the Lochthwain on... Or Faith Fetters on the Lochthwain and we should have gone on a creature. I don't think it would make a difference, though. It would just open up so much card advantage for them that we would eventually lose the game, because we don't have a great deal of life gain. We have Dawn of Hope, and it takes a while to get online. We've already used our Oath of Kaya, and I think that's really about it. That is a really, really tilting top deck from our opponent, for sure. I'm sure they've got lots of things that could have beaten us there, but we gave it a shot at least, and let's claim our prize. We got 20 gems, and we paid 1,000 gold for the event, so I'm pretty happy, regardless. I was going to look at my deck, but apparently I'm not allowed to anymore, so... Yeah, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It lets me know that you guys want to see more Cube Draft in the future. I certainly want to do at least one more, but depending on the response and the reception of this particular video, suggests whether or not I should go on to a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, and 7th. I might jumpstart it if there's enough positive feedback for the event anyway. So yeah, leave all of your feedback down in the comment section below and smash that like button and we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.